Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Reignited podcast. My name is Richard, and let me just say, welcome to episode 7. So, let me just say that the last time I recorded something was March 4, and that was Wrestling Talk, which, by the way, there's going to be a new podcast for wrestling, so don't worry, you won't have to hear any more wrestling things. Uh, the new podcast is going to be called Wrestling Aftermath. So there you go. But today's show is going to be talking about exes and what I've been going through and why I've been MIA for so long. So first of all, let me just say thank you so very fucking much for 1,000 listens through the board, as far as listening through either Spotify or Apple Play Store or anywhere you're listening through podcasting, even if it's through iHeartRadio. Thank you so much for listening. Um, it's really opened my eyes that there's actually people out there who have similar stories to share or have been through some situations that I've gone through that have helped me help them. So this is going to be another one, and it's either going to burn people or it's going to make people stronger when they hear this. So let's just jump in right into it. Fuck it, right? First, let me just say in the first 2 minutes that this is not aimed towards anybody. This is just to help somebody else who is going through the same thing that I went through, and just knowing that they're not alone. Okay? So, my ex. First of all, we met through TikTok, which it seems to be the new dating app these days. Meeting people through TikTok. And this is how the story begins. I was in Missouri at the time, and I was posting TikToks, and I was kind of depressed because I felt like I was a loner. I was, vacationing at a friend's house, and they had illegal substance on their person, and I didn't agree to it. Now, for the record, I do not believe that marijuana is a drug. And if anybody says different, please take it somewhere else. I don't believe marijuana is a drug. Just saying. So it wasn't that kind of substance. But me and my ex were, talking, and we were trying to come up with ways to get me out of there. And she had gotten me a ticket to go to North Carolina, which I was forever grateful. From then, it was a bumpy road trying to look for work, and for whatever means, we did DoorDash for a little bit. And of course, I can't drive because of my seizures, but we were like Bonnie and Clyde. She was the getaway driver and I was the guy dropping off the food. So things were going well in the beginning. She was very affectionate. She was loving, caring, understanding. And then I went in between jobs. There was a point in time that I used to work for Ross. And then I found a better job at a bigger corporation that I'm not going to mention because I'm currently still employed by them. But as time moved on, just things changed. And now what confuses me is that when we first started talking, she dug the whole fluffy thing. She knew I was a fluffy guy. Now, I don't know if she was expecting tall, dark, and fluffy, but she got short, fluffy, and Puerto Rican, okay? Now, let me just say this. She's currently still married, okay? And the way I'm looking at this now, I feel like now I was just the scapegoat for her to separate from her husband because of um how abusive he was towards her mentally. And so like looking back at that, I feel like that's the only reason why I was out there. But she always told everyone, he's a great guy, he's fluffy and I love it. He's sweet. Which if anyone knows me, they know that I am a hopeless romantic. They know that I am that guy that will take my shirt off my back for you. I will go above and beyond even if it puts me in the hole. So that's me. That's the guy that I am. Period. Whew. So relationship goes well. Perfect. Now we're half a year in and things start changing, and I don't know if it was something that I have done or something that she's done, but from what I gathered from family, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus as far as who told me, but people closest to her said that she gets tired very easily when it comes to people, or people that she's with. And I didn't want to see that. And maybe this is my bad on my part, and maybe I shouldn't do stuff like this, but have you ever gotten one of those instincts that you got to follow your gut, you got to, you know, see what they're doing? And so I did that, which is a no-no. Let me just tell you that it is a no-no. I she was in the shower, and I happened to notice her phone was going off. And so I looked at it, and there happens to be a message from a colleague of hers that says, "If you keep teasing me like that, we might as well just get a jacuzzi and have fun." And I'm like, wow. So I called a mutual friend. Again, I'm not putting anybody's name out there. I'm not going to say who, but I called a mutual friend, or at least I thought, and she pretty much said, "I told you." Was just like, that's just how she is, you know, and she will always be like that. And I've been told a few times to get out of that relationship, but I'm one of those guys that I'm willing to make it work until the wheels fall off. I'm not sure how many of you guys are out there, or get ladies out there, who are willing to do the same thing. So I go back inside. This is on a Sunday because we always go to Taco Bell on a Sunday before grocery shopping. And, I confront her about it, and we get into a big argument. Now, granted, this is not the first time we've done this, because, I have witnessed it before. But then I always throw it in the back burner, and I always forget it. Like, it's one of those things that, you work it out and you figure out what's best. So from the get-go, now looking at this, I think I should have known better. But, I'm hard-headed. All right, so we have less than a minute to go. We are going to go into a quick commercial break. During our second half, we are going to continue this conversation and give you this timeline of where we are at currently. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining, and we'll be right back. Okay. Okay, and we are back. I'm actually, I just got done editing that first part, but thank you so much for coming back. So, back to our timeline. So let's fast forward to last year. We're going to start on our 1 year anniversary. So I took her to the beach last year, and her friend tagged along, and at first I wanted it to be me and her. I thought it was going to be, a sweet thing to do. It was the beach. I know how much she loved the water. But it turned out to be such a clusterfuck of a shit show. Because she invited her friend. Of course, her daughter had to come. And it was just one of those things that I was just like, all right, whatever. And the whole time at the beach, I felt like I was just by myself. Because it was supposed to be just me and her, but I felt like it was just by myself. I was not with her because she was doing things on her own with her best friend, and the whole point of the 1 year was to just spend time, right? Now, granted, there was a few moments that we spent time, walking on the beach, but then her friend was like not too far behind type deal. But I felt like it wasn't a romantic getaway as I wanted it. So that's where lies my issues anyways. So then we fast forward to the beginning of the year. We're inching close to Mother's Day, and on a Friday, she says, "You gotta pack up your things. It's time for you to go to Florida." No explanation, no nothing. The excuse she gave me and my family was, "Hey, I need time to myself. I need to level out the house, X, Y, and Z." All right, whatever. Now, I'm a typical guy that I know I follow my gut and I don't believe a damn word she said, right? But my heart didn't want to believe it, okay? So, after some convincing from family, packed up my stuff and I went to Florida. Till this day, I still have her dog tags, her medallion that she has a tattoo of her on her wrist. She has not asked for it back. Okay. So not even a week into this whole thing, and she says, "Hey, I am going to have lunch with an ex of mine." I said, "Okay, cool, have fun, whatever." Well, I call our mutual friend, and again, I'm not throwing anybody on the bus, but our mutual person, and I said, "Hey, I saw that your fish tank broke. I was thinking about getting you a fish. What's up?" And she's like, "No, we're good," because I saw a koi fish at the mall, and I thought about having one sent out there. And her reply was, "I don't know if a koi fish is gonna react well to all the other fishes that I have." So I said, "Okay, cool." And then I was told, was like, "Hey, did you know that mom, that person's mom went out with the significant other?" And I said, "Yeah, I was told about it." And then I changed the subject because I really didn't want to talk about it. And I said, "Hey, can't wait to see you guys." And she's like, "Oh, about that." And I'm like, "What?" And then she's like, "You're not coming back, right?" And then it just moment of silence, right? So I'm just like, huh. And then according to that person's date, they were told that they were talking about getting back together. So, me being me, just to get the story straight, I call her and trying to get the story, right? Well, she was too drunk to know her butt from her elbow. And so I pretty much left it for the next day. I get a text message saying, "How could you interrogate this person? That's not cool." And I'm just like, first of all, I never interrogated anybody. That's one. Number two, it was just a civil conversation. Whatever. Well, I get a screenshot picture, and you're going to hear a lot of these, by the way, screenshot pictures. I get a screenshot picture from a friend of hers from her live that was sent to me saying, hey, did you know that you're in, and I use this in quotations because at the time we were still together, separated. Hey, did you know your girlfriend's at some guy's house kissing up on him? And I get the screenshot, and I'm just like jaw dropped on the floor. And again, just because I want to know the truth, I confront her about it. Because in the caption it said, I've been in love with him for almost 20 years, or whatever the years were. And I said, so what's the truth behind all this? And she just flipped out and was like, there's no truth behind that. We're just friends, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so the person that you confide in is lying to you. Whatever. So we stopped talking. And ever since then, it's always been an argument since then, right? So I get a promotion within my job. And I moved to Texas. And then things start hitting the fucking fan. Yet again, here we go with another text message, right? That reads, she has a relationship now. And followed by a screenshot from a mutual friend of ours on Facebook or on Snapchat. And my response at this point, because of all the shit that's been going on, is I replied to her, I don't give a fuck. So what I did was, once again, because I'm the type of guy that shows proof, is, hey, your best friend is messaging me about your relationships, congratulations, but truthfully, I just don't care. Her response is, rude. And I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck is that rude? Like, I'm just letting you know that your best friend is going behind your back talking shit and just telling me information that I don't care for. Okay? So she's like, well, looks like you're going to have to resolve it with her and not with me. Well, whatever. So I let her know, hey, I don't care about her relationships. Her relationships are her relationships. Please just keep me out of it. Well, I'm going to read you per quote what she said. You keep saying you don't care. Bah ha 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 ha. Okay? Honestly, you're not a good person. If you were, you'd stop reaching out to her, and maybe you should actually put that I don't care attitude to use. You're a weirdo. And by the way, I'm paraphrasing what she said. She called me the S word, and I'm not going to say it on air. Okay? Then she says, toodles, doodles. Think about that. I'm the big fucking weirdo, right? And yet, she's telling me, toodles, doodles? Really? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Who's the fucking weirdo on that one? Right? So, that's where we're at right now. And then to rewind it just a little bit. I'm just going to rewind it just a wee bit. All right? I'm actually going in my gallery real quick. Because I'd posted a quote on Snapchat. And her best friend decided to send it to her. And the quote was, sometimes being great isn't all that great. Sometimes being crushed and fighting is what makes you great. Written by yours truly. Okay? She then messages me and says, and states in the message, that when your relationship is dead, you should stop fighting. You're just making people, pissing people off. Written by yours truly. So I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Are was anything I said part of a relationship? So my reply is, and I had help from friends, by the way. I want to thank Heather for helping me with this out. And if you're listening, Heather, thank you. If you really feel like this is about you, then allow me to tell you it's not. It's a general statement. It's not about relationship. It's not about what, let me rephrase that. It's not about relationships. It's about what I wanted to say. Some of my friends have been going through similar situations, and it's a quote. The world don't revolve around you, Wendy. And that's exactly what was said to her. So it seems like the relationship that she is putting out there, A, is fake, right? I don't buy it for a minute that she's in a relationship, nor do I fucking care. Again, I don't care. The only thing I want is my stuff, right? That's all I want. So a little word of advice. Make sure that that person that you really care about is the one you want to be with. Because as I learned, and as I'm still learning, the person can say they love you all they want, but do they really mean it? As I sit here and I think about it, I've been through one bad marriage, one super serious relationship that from time to time I still talk to, and I have an amazing life, and I got great people to talk to, and people that I love dearly close to my heart that I talk to this day. Why do I want to go back and fuck that up? It just would not make sense. I am super grateful for what I have. I have family and people and friends that love me. I have my listeners, all 1,000 listeners of you that reach out through Instagram, through Snapchat, and I just want to say thank you. You know, sometimes in life, we go through these spouts through relationships, and sometimes they don't pan out. They're not what they were painted to be. And so I truthfully hope that she finds happiness. I truthfully hope that if she is with someone, that he makes her happy. But to the guy, be careful what you're stepping into. Because 1 minute, it's going to be amazing. And at a flip of a hat, your world can turn upside down. And trust me, I wish I would have taken her husband's advice. And the reason why I say husband is because technically they are still married. So I wish I would have taken his advice when he says, be careful what you're doing. And I didn't take his advice. Why? Because of all the stories that she told me about him. See, there's always two sides to every story. And I truthfully wish that I would have listened. And I was the foolish man that didn't. There's no space in my head for her to live rent-free anymore. And if you're listening to this, and I really do hope you are, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for showing me your true colors. Thank you for being such an evil, manipulative person to destroy a great man like myself. And she might go back and say, well, he knows how to talk about himself, doesn't he? So what? These were your words, right? Her words exactly were, the only good things I can say about you is that you're a great man that deserves better. Her words. Hell, this same woman that treated me like shit, she tried to commit suicide with a 9. And who was there to save her, to make sure she was okay? Me. I will throw myself out there for the next person. So in closing, I leave this to you guys. Make sure that the person that you're with is your life partner. Make sure that person is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, and make sure you let them know how much they mean to you. Because they may be going through something that you may have never thought of. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a terrific night. And again, thank you for the 1,000 listeners out there. Thank you for a great re-upload of an episode 7. And I think this is episode 7. Holy shit. Yes, episode 7. I love you guys. And again, reach out to me. If you guys need someone to talk to, please reach out. Love you guys. And you guys are amazing.